Next at 6, 4 Horry County firefighters on their way to a call faced their own crisis. Their engine overturned in a ditch.
The emotions, you run the full gamut of emotions.
In tonight's team coverage, you'll hear from those who responded.
And honestly saved several lives this morning.
And how first responders are dealing with an accident involving their own.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Jim Heath is off tonight. I'm Allison Floyd. They've always considered themselves brothers and sisters. And tonight, a family of firefighters is praying for the safe recovery of 4 of their own. They were injured while on the way to a house fire this morning when their engine overturned. Here's a look at where both scenes happened. The fire was on Quail Creek Drive near Green Sea. The engine wrecked on Highway 19 near Adrian Highway. A lieutenant and 3 other Horry County firefighters were injured when the truck flipped over. 2 of them were trapped under that wreckage for quite a while. It took a huge effort to pull them out. WPDE's Joel Allen begins our live team coverage tonight. He's at Horry County Fire Station number 40 where that truck was dispatched from. And Joel, what is the latest on the firefighters at this hour?
Allison, at this hour, 1 was treated at Loris Hospital this morning and released. Another was first taken to Loris Hospital, then later transferred to McLeod Regional Medical Center in Florence, where he is listed in stable condition tonight. And 2 others were taken to Medical University in Charleston, and they are listed in serious condition. But we were told that they are conscious and alert. But I got to tell you, when you saw that fire truck, saw how badly it was crushed, it is really amazing that they came out of it as well as they did.
Floyd Lewis was working in a shed outside his home on Highway 19 when his wife came to tell him there was some kind of calamity outside. Lewis stepped out to see a fire engine flipped over.
I wanted to help, but I didn't know what to do. I mean, you know, it's just bad. I mean, it was just a bad something.
Firefighter Jason Dunn was able to escape on his own, and another, MJ Chaddock, got out without too much trouble. Those 2 were taken to Loris Hospital. But 2 others, Lieutenant John Volison and firefighter Philip McElroy, were still trapped underneath the 38,000-pound truck. What's worse, engine number 40 was upside down in a ditch, wedged up against a driveway, making it extremely difficult for rescuers to reach the injured men.
They did dig quite a bit on one side of the dirt that was underneath it on one side just to be able to gain access, make sure that they were able to provide the care they needed.
One firefighter was trapped for close to an hour before he could be pulled out and airlifted to Charleston. Another was wedged inside for 2 hours before he was dug out and also airlifted. Some 3 hours after the crash, a heavy-duty wrecker finally removed the crushed truck, and the evaluation began to figure out how the accident happened and how the rescue was handled.
And we talk about anything that we could have done to improve the call. We talk about the great things we did to make the call go better. And we do that on a daily basis. So with this, I assure you that we will have quite a bit of discussions.
So how did this accident happen? First of all, we are told that there was just that 1 vehicle. No other vehicle was involved. And Highway Patrol says at this early stage, it looks as if the truck was going around a curve, may have gone off the edge of the roadway slightly, then the truck overcorrected, and that is when it flipped over. Keep in mind, it had about 1,000 gallons of water on board, so it was probably pretty top heavy. But again, all of this is fairly preliminary. We still have to do some more investigation from the Highway Patrol before they come up with a final cause. We're live at Rescue Station number 40 tonight. I'm Joel Allen. Allison, back to you.
Joel, thank you. Now here is some information tonight on the firefighters who were injured. Firefighter EMT Philip McElroy is the one who was trapped for 2 hours underneath that engine. He's been with Horry County Fire Rescue since September, and he is being treated tonight at the Medical University in Charleston. Again, he is in serious condition. Lieutenant John Volison was trapped for an hour. He's been with the department since February of 1999. He is also at MUSC in serious condition. Firefighter EMT MJ Chaddock has been with the department for 2 years. He was taken to Loris Community Hospital and then transferred to McLeod Regional Medical Center in Florence and is listed in stable condition tonight. Firefighter EMT Jason Dunn was the one who got out on his own. He was treated and released from Loris Hospital, and each of those firefighters is a part of a department. But they say they're more than just co-workers. They're all family. We continue our team coverage tonight with WPDE's Lee McLaughlin. And Lee, how are the fellow firefighters coping tonight with all of this?
Allison, the firefighters we talked with all said the same thing. Being a firefighter is like a brotherhood, and when one of your own is hurt, you hurt. Within minutes of the accident, even before the first ambulance arrived, Horry County rescuers got to the rolled fire engine.
It was pretty chaotic. The responders responding to their own creates a little anxiety, and we very quickly got organized.
Scott Thompson says hearing the call for help is the hardest part.
The emotions, you run the full gamut of emotions. Once you arrive on the scene, you fall back on your training and your experience, and you go to work.
They say the care they give their own is no different than the care they would give anyone at a scene. But it's hard to get away from the fact that you're working on your friends. The Myrtle Beach Critical Incident Stress Debrief Team came to offer the county EMS support.
You're talking about a close-knit family, and it's a family member. They work together every day.
The team for Myrtle Beach is trained to help emergency responders cope if they need help or someone to talk with about the stress of being so close to the victims.
The thoughts of this could happen to me, these firefighters' families with unknown, this could be my husband or wife.
After their job was finished rescuing their coworkers, crew members say there was one more thing they had to do.
We did have a prayer after the rescue was complete before we began to clean up.
Now, the thoughts and prayers of all firefighters are going out to those hurt in today's crash as well as to their families. And we also want to let you know the special stress team that we just talked about will be available to help those who responded deal with treating firefighters who are like family to them. Live in Horry County, Allison, back to you.
All right, Lee McLaughlin, thank you very much. And our thoughts and prayers are also with those firefighters and their families tonight. These rescue crews are trained to save lives, and the man who trained many of them found himself at the scene today. WPDE's Kyle Granger continues our live team coverage tonight from the Conway studio with an ER doctor who was called in to help. Kyle?
Allison, Dr. Michael Smith is the person who trains EMS workers in Horry County. Doctoring is his career, but being a paramedic is his passion. Today, he was both. Dr. Michael Smith is an emergency room doctor at Grand Strand Regional Medical Center. He's also the medical director for Carolina Life Care and the assistant medical director for Horry County EMS.
I've done this now for about 14 years, and this is one of the worst accidents I've ever seen.
Smith trains the EMS workers to do everything that he can do at the hospital. But because the firefighter was trapped under the fire truck for so long, Smith was called to help. There was a chance Smith would have to amputate the firefighter's leg so they could get him out and save him.
I was there to provide another level of service should it be needed. But honestly, these guys did one of the most amazing rescues and extrications I've ever seen and got him out without us having to do more.
As it turned out, Smith was there more for emotional support. He knows some of the people who were hurt and those working to free the trapped victims. He says the event was a tragedy, but what he witnessed was pure professionalism.
Everybody is part of the team effort in something like this, and when a tragedy like this hits your own department, that adds a whole nother level of complexity and emotion, and the people just could not have performed better this morning. They saved the lives of their coworkers.
Now, Smith believes his experience as a paramedic and a doctor helps him better understand how to train EMS crews deal with these situations. Live in the studio, I'm Kyle Granger. Allison, back to you.
Kyle, thank you. And as we told you earlier, the firefighters were on their way to a house fire near Green Sea. Two of the firefighters working to put that fire out were also hurt. One of them sprained his ankle. The other had first-degree burns to his wrist. One person was inside this home when that fire started, but got out okay. Investigators say right now it looks like the fire started in the kitchen and that the home is a total loss. Now, to recap our top story for you, about 8:15 this morning, firefighters with Horry County Engine 40 were responding to a house fire on Quail Creek Road when their truck overturned on East Highway 19. One firefighter got out on his own and one was quickly helped out of the wreckage. Two others were trapped. Once they were freed, they were airlifted to the Medical University in Charleston. Both are in serious condition tonight. A third firefighter was treated and released from Loris Hospital. The fourth was taken to Loris Hospital and later to McLeod Regional Medical Center in Florence, where he is in stable condition tonight. And stay with WPDE News Channel 15. We will have continuing coverage of this story for you. We'll have the latest on the conditions of the firefighters coming up tonight on the news at 10 on CW and on Nightside at 11 o'clock right here on WPDE.